This conference will now be recorded.
So what are your observations here? In this assignment, what and all your observations? Anyone practiced? Anyone completed this part?
I'll do that today, Sujit. I haven't done it.
Okay. What about others? Can you please respond me?
Yeah, I'll be doing it tomorrow.
I haven't done it either.
Okay. Please do it, guys. By tomorrow, at least complete it, so that you will have an idea about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Today, from today onwards, we'll start with the types of integrations like web service-based integration, file integration, database integration. So we are going to start everything from today. Okay. So first, we'll talk about one type of integration. Okay. So please be ready with your Nippon Studios, everyone. I hope all you are ready. I'm going to give one small task. Okay. So let's take. There is one third-party application. There is one third-party application. Application name is product service REST. Product service REST is the application name. So this application is developed by using a Java language, in that by using a Spring framework. Okay, so basically it's a Java application, and it is having two operations. One is get all products, and one more is get product by name. Based on the input argument what we are passing, accordingly it will fetch the name and return some value. Here also it will return some value. Okay, so product service REST application. So requirement is, from the client application I want to consume these operations. So client application, let's take client application could be your postman. So from the postman I want to consume this get all products or get product by name. Okay, so what details required according to our idea? So what information we required?
Endpoint.
So endpoints required. That means this product service application should expose as a API, correct? So let's take the I mean this application is using REST as a service provider. REST as a service provider. Okay, and of course this application should be deployed on some servers. So can you please name any server where I can deploy applications? Application servers
Tomcat.
mostly used. Tomcat. Okay, and assume 6060 is the port number. 6060 is the port number assigned to that application in the local host. In the local host, right? So now what information required in order to send in order to consume, as you guys told. Now what is required? API, correct? API means what details will be present in that API?
Method and body.
So yeah, this get all products service should be mapped with one endpoint, right? So any REST API contains what? Methods and the resources. So can you please tell me what method and what resource I might have used? This is a third party application. Just remember that point. Yeah. Tell
Get
me.
method.
So can we assign a get method? Okay. And what could be endpoint? I can use any. I may use slash products. Slash products. Okay. Next. There is one more method. Get product by name. For that,
Get
others also please participate, guys. I see total silent today. Yeah, what method? And assume that this get product by name. Name is expecting through URI parameters. So based on this, tell me. Based on that, can you please tell me?
get slash product slash product name.
Okay. Slash products slash expecting through URI parameter. How the key can be written for URI parameters?
In curly
Curly
braces.
brace open, and I'm using name as a key. Okay, this is assigned to get product by name. Okay, and all these details are available. Localhost 6060 is the port number and all. So this is the information provided by this REST API. So now from the postman, I want to send a request. Can you please tell me the URL quickly? Quickly, tell me the URL,
Local
please.
localhost 8081 slash product
Get method. HTTP is the protocol. Localhost 8081 slash
product
Slash products.
/8081 slash, and assume this REST application is having a slash rest as a base path also. Okay, so slash rest slash products. Yeah, so if you submit this request, the request will go to the third party application and it will consume get all products because that is mapped to get slash products, right? And it will execute the logic and return some value as a response. So what will be the response body? Assume that the media type of this third party application I used as a JSON. So finally, what you will be getting as a response body?
Yes,
Can I
sir.
expect some array? JSON array with, for example, in the third party application database, we have a total 6 products. So finally, you will be getting what? Total 6 products, right? That is a response body. Okay. Now, I want to consume get product by name. So what is the URL? Slash the product
Name.
value. Can I send a product value? For example, let's take I have a HP, Apple, again HP, like that 6 products are there. So I want to fetch the HP products here. So I want to consume get product by name. So which is expecting the URL in which format? Slash product slash name slash product slash value. Yeah. Should I send the syntax in this format? Yes, in order to consume that get product by name because that is mapped in that same fashion, right? So once you give the request will go to get product by name and will give the response back. What could be the response body? HP object, right? HP product object, right? Yes or no? Raghu,
Yes.
Nisha, Santosh, what's happening? What's happening? Are you able to follow me?
Yes, Sujit.
Since I'm not getting any responses, so I should be doubted. So that's the reason I'm asking. Tell me, are you able to follow me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, still no responses from only one person. Okay, tell me guys. So if I give this slash product slash HP, what will be the response? Will it be an array or an object?
Object.
If I have two HP products in that,
Mm, Then it will be
it will be
array.
an array, right? So by default, the response type of the third, this get product by name response is HP. That means it's an array. Media type is array by default. Even though you have one product, you can give that as an array, right? So first we'll see how we can consume by using a Postman, the third-party application. Then I will replicate the same process with a Mule application as well. Okay, let's see how to do that. Generally, the third-party application will be available on the web for a testing purpose. You can use those, or else in the lab documentation, I already given this third-party Java application. Already I created and I have given an embedded Tomcat also with that. Okay, you don't need to have a, I mean another Tomcat for that. Okay, so what I can do, just go to the lab documentation. You can use my lab document, I mean my application, or else you can use any other application also. So here you can see uh, product service REST application. Product service REST application. What type of file it is? What type of application it is?
Jar.
It is a jar file. Jar file means Java
Java.
application here, right? So in order to run Java class, what is the command to be used? Java is the command, right? And if you want to execute a jar file, hyphen jar and file name. That means which file you want to execute. Product service REST application I want to execute, and you need to tell on which port number you need to deploy that also. Okay, all this statement and command I have created in one batch file. Okay, just you can execute this batch file, it will work. Okay, right click on that, you can execute that. So right, let me show you by editing that batch file what command I have given there. So here you can see it's a Java command because I want to execute a jar file called product service rest.jar file. And server port, what is the port number we need, I want to assign for this? 6060 is the port number. And the context path, that means the base path of this application is what? Slash rest. So this is the information. So I want to execute this information now. So how to do that? Just execute the batch file. As I told, I created by using a Spring framework. You can see using a Spring Boot, and embedded Tomcat will be started, and that application product service application will be deployed onto the Tomcat server on 6060 port number. So this is the third part application setup. Generally we will not do that. That will be up and running, the API will be exposed. Okay, based on that we'll send a request. Now since I created it, I need to start this application as well, right? So Tomcat started on port 6060, and product service application got deployed. So now can I send a request to my Postman? Let me open the Postman as well. One second. My throat is not good from yesterday night. Sorry. So 8081 slash why Postman? What is the Postman URL I need to send to the third party application? Tell me guys. Localhost. What is the
6060.
port number? 6060 is the
60.
port number assigned. Okay. Yes.
Rest.
60 is the
Base
port
path.
number. And what is the base path? Slash rest is the base path, and slash products. So Am I getting an array as an output? JSON array, right? How many products we have? See, basically for this entire training program, I used one set of products. You can see this is my first product. Second, like that, I have a total six products here. Total six products. Okay. So if I want to, every product is having some name HP, MacBook, like Mac, IBM, Moto, Samsung. Okay. I want to filter the products based on a brand name. So not brand name. So how to pass this? On which method I can consume in the third party? Get product by name. So which is expecting the input in which format? Slash product slash name in a URI parameter format. So how to send the value? Slash HP. So am I getting only HP product? Only one product. But what is the type? It's an array type, right? So let's take Mac. How many? One, two. Total two products we have in the database in that array. So I'm able to easily consume the third party application. Okay. Now just be careful here. What I'm going to explain when you replicate with the mule application. Yeah. So let's take this is your mule application. Mule. Mule flow. We are going to use Postman. We are going to use Postman as a client application. Okay. And your mule application is going to expose with the 8081 port number. So get method http localhost 8081 slash. So please understand, I want to consume this get all products and get product by name from third party application. That URL is different, right? Now our mule application is going to expose as an API as well in order to consume the two operations. So our mule application API is designed in such a way with the one slash my products is one endpoint slash my products is one endpoint. So in order to consume get all products. Okay, in order to get all products. So tell me what is the first component I need to configure in a flow? Listener.
Listener.
List.
What type of request I'm listening for? HTTP request. So it should be
HTTP.
HTTP listener. Okay. Next, converts into mule event. That event will be processed by the processors. Okay. Now, what processor I need to use in order to send the request to the third party application? By the way, what is the URL? Third party application URL? Get is the method. HTTP domain like localhost. What is the port number? 6060
60.
is the port number slash rest is the base path slash products slash products, right? So what is the component I can use in order to send the request? See, whenever you are in a mule application, you need to think in the event perspective, I told, right? So what is the structure of an event here after the listener?
Processor.
Hmm, hmm.
Will have the attributes.
Empty, right? Because we don't have any attributes, we don't have any payload. It's a get method, right? I didn't create any variables. It's an empty event. Empty event. Now somehow I need to send the request from my application to the third party application, right? So what is the connector I can use? What is the connector I can use? Yes, I need to send the HTTP request. There is one component called request connector. Request. So I'm going to configure this connector. Okay. So I will give this event as an input to the request connector. Okay. I will give the input this event to the request connector. So what type, from where, which module is this request connector is available? In which module? There is one module called HTTP module. In order to listen to the HTTP request when we configure HTTP listener, in order to send a request, we need to use a request connector. Okay. So in the request connector, I need to configure this URL, the third party application URL. Okay, so that my request connector will send a request to the third party application, and it will consume that get all products. It will consume the get all products. Okay, now when it consume, it will give some response back, right? So now tell me, what is the structure of an event here?
We'll have the payload.
Attribute.
Attributes.
Yeah.
Do you have
Yes.
any attributes?
Yes.
What attributes? So basically, these attributes, if you think that, okay, for example, if you are getting some query parameters in the request, here we have a query parameter. Do you think that the same query parameter will be available after even a request connector also? The same will be carried?
Yes.
No, because HTTP listener is an inbound endpoint. Okay, request connector is an outbound because when it is consuming the third party application. Okay, whatever the response you get, if that response contains any headers, that will be part of your attributes from there. Understand? That is called, that is why we'll call this a request connector is an outbound endpoint. And what about payload? Do we have any payload? Payload means body, the content. Do we have any body here in the event?
Empty.
Yes, right?
Empty.
Yes.
No, no, why
Yes.
empty? Here I'm
But
talking about. What
We'll have the
happened?
product details, right?
Yes.
okay. Okay.
So from the get all products, whatever the response we get, that will become a payload, right? All the product details, isn't it? See, that's why event perspective is very important to understand. You need to visualize everything, right? So,
So just one question here.
uh,
When you say query parameters is not carried, right?
correct.
Okay. Uh, so if my products,
Oh,
okay, it's if it's a URI parameter, it'll be carried forward.
no, no, attributes will not be part of your application. Sorry, after the request connector, the attributes will be override with the response attributes.
Okay. Okay. Understood.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
that is the
Yeah.
HTTP concept. Okay. So the payload will become whatever we got from the third party application, the response, right? Finally, the response will be given back to the listener. Listener will give the response back to the client. Let's see that. I will talk about one operation. The next operation I want you to do that. Okay. Otherwise, this get all products is a simple thing. Okay, just straightforward. You can configure that. Get product by name. It's a little bit tricky one. Let me explain that. Is it clear till now? Get all products. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Get all products. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Why no responses today? What's happening? Hmm? Mostly I can see three voice. Shalini, Gururaj and Neeraj. What happened to others? Manju today silent. Raghu, I can see that your system is having some problem. What about Santosh, Nisha, Gautam? Hmm? It will be interesting if you participate, guys. Okay, so now my mule application has having some requirement to consume the get product by name also. Okay, so get product by name, third party application expected input through what type of parameter?
URI parameter.
URI parameter. So we need to somehow pass the value, correct? Okay. Now for my mule application, they want to send the request through query parameters. That means we are getting some input through query parameters. For example, let's take name equal to HP. Name equal to HP. Now tell me what will be the event after the listener?
Empty attribute.
No, no. Why empty
Uh,
attributes?
Sorry. URI
Interval.
parameter. Sorry, query
Query
parameter.
parameters. We have a query parameter. One query parameter with a name equal to HP. Empty payload and empty variables. So that will be given as an input to request connector. So here little bit tricky. Please try to understand what type of parameter you are getting as an input to the request connector. Query parameter. Correct? And my third party application to consume get product by name expected what type of parameter?
URI,
It's a
URI parameter.
URI parameter. It's a URI parameter, right? So now I need to send the request as a URI parameter by extracting query parameter value. So such logic I need to write inside a request connector. Extract this query parameter, convert into I mean, after extracting the query parameter value, you need to send the value as a URI parameter to the third party application. Is it clear?
Yes, yes,
Is it clear?
yes, I did it. I have a question. When you
Yes,
said
please.
you are receiving it as a URI and sending as a, sorry, receiving it as a query parameter and then sending as a URI parameter. What
Correct.
was the main reason for changing this from URI to a query to URI?
There is no
Why?
specific reason. I got requirement in like that. Our mule
So if
application is
I,
going to expose as a
okay, so if
query
there is no
parameter.
requirement, I still can follow the same thing that I'm doing at the initial listener level. I can do the same at the request level, right?
Pardon? I mean, your voice, I
So
am
I'm
getting some
saying,
echo.
okay, sorry. So what I'm saying is, let's say if I doesn't have any specific requirement like that, I can still
Hmm.
follow the same like the
Ah, of
listener and the
course.
request. Okay.
Of course, see, this is our requirement. Whatever I mean, for your mule application, how the client is asked how you want to send a request, it is his requirement. Okay, but the third-party application expose that is not a client or yours requirement. That is the third-party application's requirement. How they want to expose, right? So, in the scenario like this, the third-party application is expecting an input through URI parameter because they are having some restrictions and all, right? So that's why they exposed get product by name input as a URI parameter only. Okay, so somehow I
So
need to set the input to the third party application URI parameter only. Okay, but my
so
client has given a requirement to develop an application, so he want to send some input as a query parameter. Yeah.
okay. So what is the benefit or what would be the factor to have a decision like that? Like instead of going as an URI, go with a query or vice versa. What could be the decision factor for that one? Why
Nothing.
would
See,
someone go with
pardon?
why would someone would go with the query and not URI and somebody would go with URI and not with query?
Because they don't want to give any restrictions at a mule application level. They want to choose the key value pairs from their end only. So in that
Okay.
case, they want to send a query params. But the third party application is not like that. They want to restrict the user to send the queue. They want to restrict the user to send only the value. If you are filling the form, they will be giving the header name. You will pass the value, right? So in the same case, the
Okay.
third party
Yeah. Yeah.
application expected only the
Got it.
value from the external side. But our
Got it.
client,
Okay.
he want to send the input key value pairs. He want to give
Right.
the
Right.
query parameter as an input. So in that
Okay.
case, otherwise, your application also can expose as a URI parameter. client also can send as a URI parameter. The point is here, when we think in an event perspective, either it could be query or a URI parameter, how the third party application expected, we need to send a request in same way. And at
Right.
the same time, our application, how it is exposed, we need to expect the value in the same way. Okay, so you can do anything, any vice versa. If the requirement is like this, how we can do, that's what we are trying, I'm trying to expose.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. So where I stopped exactly, yeah, from the request character I want to send a request to the third party application as a URI parameter, and my client is giving a request to my application as a query parameter. Okay, so when we think in a event perspective, it's about a query and a URI, who is giving query and how we need to send as a URI parameter. That's what we need to learn here. Okay, so which operation I want you, I mean, you want me to explain first one or second one? So which one you want to give a try? Accordingly I will leave it to you.
Please explain second one.
Expected, as expected. Yeah. So okay, anyways, so the third party application is behind the scenes up and running. So let's create one new folder. I think Neeraj, today your voice is a little bit. I mean, maybe you are using a computer's. I mean, the computer's mic, if I'm not wrong. So I'm creating a new project here. I will name it as 01 consuming REST API. Okay. So what is my third part? Sorry, what is my client URL? How my application is exposed with the 8081. I don't have any base path. Directly I will use a slash my products. My products with the query parameter. Let's take a product name equal to HP. Product name equal to HP. Okay. Now I want to send a request. First, under HTTP module, there is a listener, there is a request. Okay, what it says, request character consumes an HTTP service. Once I drop here, where it is going to be placed, in the source part or a process part, guys? Source or a process?
Process, right?
Not source,
No.
right? So, and I'm going to consume get product by name, right? So I will edit this, edit the name. I will rename it as get product by name. Okay, let's configure that request connector once. Every connector will be having a connector configuration. Every connector will be having a connector configuration. So you need to configure the third party application URL by using this plus sign. So you need to create an HTTP request configuration or configure an URL, anything is same. So we will configure HTTP request configuration. So we are, our name I have given as HTTP request configuration. What is the base path? Base path to use all the requests that references this config in the third party application. What is the base path?
Rest.
Rest is the base path. And what is the host?
Localhost 6060.
Port
Ah,
number
localhost 6060.
60. 60 is the port number. I will go with the default options as of now. You can see HTTP localhost 6060 slash rest. Okay, that is the base configuration. I may use this configuration for get all products and get product by name. Agree? I may use this configuration now. Once I create that, it will be act as a global element. So that global configuration I can use for any of the operation, isn't it? Right? So now how we will how I will identify uniquely for the get product by name, we need to pass the endpoints, right? So the get product by name, how it is exposed? Get is the method slash products slash name, right? So get is the method. You can use any of the method according to the requirement from the drop down. By default it's a get method, and path where the request will be sent. slash
Get products.
products, not get product, is the slash products. Get is the method, slash
Okay.
products is the endpoint, and with the slash is expecting URI parameters, right? What is the key? Name is the key. They exposed as a name. Okay. Now, now I will use
Sujit,
one listener.
Sujit,
Yeah,
one question here. So if it is expecting a query parameters, then we don't give it there, right?
not required, no, not required, right? We need to pass the value as a query parameter. I will tell you. I'll tell you once you complete this, you'll understand. So this
Okay.
is my main flow where I configured one HTTP listener. Click on a plus sign 8081. What is the path? Slash my products. Okay. Next, uh, how we can refer from one flow to another flow by
Flow
using a
reference.
flow reference, and I will invoke that get product by name. And I just want to use a logger just to see what response is given back to the client. So I will use a logger and I will write payload. Okay. So in the request connector, what I need to configure now? And if I send the request like this, what will be the structure of an event? Input to the request connector. What is the input to the request connector event?
Uh,
Name, it will have
empty.
the
Hmm?
name of the product.
So this is the input request.
One
We have
query
one query
attribute.
parameter with the product name.
Yes.
One query parameter attribute the product name. Okay. I have that in the event that is sent to request connector. Okay. Now, when you come to the request connector, how you need to send input to this third party application as what type of parameter?
URI parameter.
You.
URI parameter. So here you can see query parameters, URI parameters. So how you want to send a request, how you want to send a value now as a query or URI as a URI parameter. So click on URI params, right? So URI parameters are nothing but a key value pairs. So click on a variable name, variable in the sense key value pairs. So what is the key? What is the key? Name is the key, right? Exactly. Is it not? Slash product slash name. Variable name is what? Slash name. So name. For that name, what is the value I need to send?
HP.
I can hard code it, but I need to get it dynamically from the input request. So can I write a data view expression?
Yes.
Attributes dot
Query
query params
params.
or URI params.
Query params.
So from the query params
Dot
dot what is the key?
name. Name.
Product name.
Product name.
This value, see this data view expression will get evaluated. Save it and go to the what do you call the FX button. Switch to FX button. That means switch to expression mode and see here what I'm trying to do. I am passing product name value as an input to the
Name.
name attribute. What is the name attribute? Where I'm passing the name attribute in the URI parameter in the request. So slash products slash whatever the value it got emitted after evaluating this expression, either HP or a Mac. So am I not sending the request in a desired format for my third party application? Yes. Is it expecting the same? Hmm?
Yes.
Yes, no, guys. I'm deploying this application now and see whether it is going to give a correct output or not. Now, do you understand? Someone asked about query params. 1 second. Why this not? Yes, Gururaj, I think you asked. Understood?
Yes, Sujit, but I would like to know, like, if it is vice versa, right? Suppose if we are sending query parameters, how will send that one?
There is an option, no? There is a query parameters also there. We sent as a URI parameter where we pass the query key value pairs. Similarly, you can pass
Then,
the query parameters also.
then in the path, how we will give it as? Because in path we are giving in curly braces name as URI,
Directly,
but
you can
usually,
add click on a plus sign and you can give here query params directly because it is not expecting as a URI here in the path itself. We can pass query parameters by adding the key value pairs here.
so my path will be only till products, right?
Only slash products.
Okay.
How my third party application expected? Only slash products, right? And it is expecting additionally in the API query params. That's why we are sending the query params here. Right out.
Good.
So, Sujit, and then if the same scenario what Gururaj said, right? So the
Hmm.
key will be the name and the value will be
Exactly.
attributes or URI params, is it?
Expression. We are expecting in the event from how you are getting from the third from your client. What is the request you are getting? Depends on that. Attributes dot whether you are getting query or a URI parameter. It's up to you.
Okay, okay,
Finally, you are
okay.
fetching the value and passing that to the third party application. That is what the point here. Underlying point.
Sure. Thank you.
Deployed your request. X empty. So understood now? Yes, no?
Yes, Sujit.
So please try for
Yes.
get all products now quickly. Will you try or should I tell?
No, we'll try.
Try it out. And one if you create one more flow for get all products, there is an issue. What is that issue? Please identify. And also what is the solution you can use for that? Please think about it. Got my requirement? What I'm trying to say? Are you getting my point? I created a get product by name. Similarly, create one flow for get all products. Right? So if you want to execute a get all products in the flow reference, you need to change, isn't it? In the flow reference, you need to come and change the flow, correct? Is it practically correct option? Is it a viable option? Every time we'll come to flow reference and change it? No, right? So what else we can do? If you want to send the request to get all products or get product by name, yes, please tell me what is the option I can use there in order to send the request to get all products or get product by name dynamically. What could be the what could be the answer? What could be the idea? As a developer, you need to think that logic, no? So, what is the idea you will get? Okay, please
We'll
think
put,
about and tell me. In any
we'll
programming
put,
language, what logic you will write?
we'll put some condition, if condition.
If switch.
If else condition can I use? So just browse what is the equivalent connector we have in Mule for a if else condition. Okay, please try to configure that if it is possible from your end. Otherwise, I will explain it any which ways tomorrow. Okay, but first complete this get all products also first. Later part, if you have a time, you can use the choice. Answer is choice router for that. Very self-explanatory router. Okay, let's see how many people can try about the choice router, how it works. Yes, Raghu. If you are ready, you can share the screen. You can use my document. In the lab documentation, I have given you consuming REST API document. You can use that document also. What's happening here? Tooling instance, close this. Okay, how many listeners you have total? Only one? Show me that listener, global elements. Why two listener configurations? Listener one, delete one listener which is unused and use the same listener in the same configuration in the listener also. No, no, if you click on a plus sign again, it will create one more. Close this. Yeah. Okay. I think you are using the same. Do the general path and proceed. Okay. Next. Go to set variable. Okay. Next set payload. Okay. Deploy it. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. Can you please show me all the system configurations? Go to the environment variable also once. 8 GB RAM. 8 GB RAM. Uh, we told around 16 GB required. And also processor also should be 2 gigahertz processor. It is only 1.5. Call me on my mobile. Call me on my mobile. So if you guys want to drop and if you want to refer a video and if you want to do that, you can do that. It's up to you.
Sure, Sujit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.